Well, here we are at the control room in the studio. We have Neil Kernan and Justin Leah working away hard here on the Wretched Spawn.
This is going to be an all-digital record, and that's the first time we've ever done that.
That's fine.
All right, one of the first things, well, actually the first thing that we do when we get down to the studio is, we set everything up, and then it's time to start doing the scratch tracks, which is where we're actually doing the final drum take, but we're, the guitar players and the bass player, are playing along. There's no vocals on that, and that's very rough. We're just getting the basic drum tracks down, so it doesn't matter if, the guitar and bass tracks are a little rough, because we're going to end up recording over them later.
While we track the tracks live, we go back and redo a lot of it. We keep the drum tracks, and obviously we redo the bass and the guitars, and the vocals are done last. And what you need to have is maximum excitement that you would, try to recreate the excitement of live. You sort of think, well, how can it be that exciting if the guys are doing things one at a time? Well, because we do have the opportunity to go over it and enhance or work on the performances one by one, you can maximize the intensity, or you can just say, well, yeah, play that that part just harder or whatever.
I would say try to get one more.
One more, then we got 3 to choose from.
Yes, one more, and in fact, lunch is ready. So let's try one more and then maybe eat.
Yeah, all right.
That sounds great.
Tortillas.
Are you ready? Rolling!
That fucking hurts. God damn it.
Boink, boink.
Well, here we are at Sonic Ranch Studios in the drum room in El Paso, Texas, recording the new CD, The Wretched Spawn. And this is my drum set for this recording. Well, it's not my drum set, it's the studio kit. It's a DW Collector Series, all maple shell kit. Incredible sounding drum set, top of the line, can't get any better. I hope maybe someday I will own one of these. It's incredible. But like I said, we are here recording. It took me about 3 days to get the drum tracks in order to what we were looking for, basically. And here it is, the drum setup. from the front. Well, here is the back side of the drum kit where you're getting a good angle of what I'm looking at, I guess, when I'm playing. And as you can see, it's pretty much just my setup with not being my drum set, but use my cymbals on the project. My pedals, of course, the Axis longboards I've been using, great pedals. I said my cymbals, my Peisty Rude ride cymbal, 21 inch, I've had probably for 17 years now, and like I said, it's a great drum set, awesome, turned out great. Right here we have a pair of my drumsticks. I've been using the Regal Tip Quantum 3000 sticks for years now with the foam grips on the end of them, and I noticed it really helps the balance and taking a lot of the shock out of my forearms. A lot of the strain and the pain, so to say. But this is the sticks. These are actually the two pairs. The pair I used actually on this recording. I only used one pair. Brought a bunch, of course, but I felt this was my lucky pair. Get a few hours out of them, basically, and these, I guess, will be put into the archives, as the Wretched Spawn drumsticks.
Alright, drums are almost done, so we're about ready to track. So we're setting up the amps, getting some sounds, blah blah blah, and I don't know, we'll be tracking guitars and bass and vocals before you know it. So stay tuned. Alright, let's go through my gear set up here, what I brought out with me from Tampa. We got on the right the old faithful Ibanez Universe 7-string, relegated to studio duty, don't take it out on the road too much anymore. As far as the rack, main sound comes from a Digitech 2101, given to me by a fan years ago. Rebuilt it a couple times. These pedals are pretty cool, from Digitech XP series. One's a wah and a whammy combined. One's like a univibe kind of sound. Pretty cool. Overall cymbal setup. Got some 4x12 cabinets from Crate, and they sent us the new heads, 350 watt heads. Checking those out, see how they sound, and let us know how they sound.
All right, yeah. So basically, it's going to be. Last two albums I used was this amp, this triple rectifier amp. But we'll see. I don't know. Haven't got into doing guitar sounds yet. These are my two guitars here, my main guitars, BC Riches, custom made. I got another one coming on the way. It's not here yet, so you can't see it yet. I'll probably be doing most of the tracking with this guitar here. And that's basically it. Just flying V's through a triple rectifier. Very simple.
Okay, well, I'm going to walk you through my equipment here and let you take a look at what I use and what I'm going to be using, actually. We're at a point in the recording right now where we've finished up with the drums and we're getting started on the guitars. My bass rig here is still set up as it was for the scratch track recording, which I was actually sitting in the other room when they did it, but they had it mic'd up out here so it wouldn't bleed into anything. I will probably end up using this cabinet. It's an Ampeg 810 cabinet. I've used one of those on pretty much everything I've done. This amp here is an SVT4 Pro. This will be the first full-length album I've done with this amp. I just got it this year. It's the best one that Ampeg makes, or one of the best. They make a lot of good amps, but that's the one that I thought would be best for how I play. It's probably the loudest one they have, and it's still pretty versatile too. So that's what I'm going to be using. I don't think we're even going to try using anything else. Normally we try several different amplifiers, but this one's so good I don't think we'll even bother checking it out next to anything else. This here's the bass I've been using for years, my modulus bass. It's a Modulus Quantum 5, and it's an excellent bass, but I've been using it so much and for so long that I figured it was time for a change. So most likely I'm going to be using the Spectre bass. It's a really excellent instrument, and I believe it's what I'm going to use on the record. We'll find out in about a week or so when I start the bass tracks, but almost definitely it's going to be this one. So you'll see later on in this DVD which one I ended up using. And that's about it. I don't use any effects or anything like that, so the rig is pretty much the same no matter what I'm doing. Once in a while I'll use a Sans amp to dirty up my signal a little, but this bass is... it's already got such a hot signal coming off of the EMGs in there that I don't really think I'll need to use any kind of distortion on it. It's a pretty hot electronic system that it's got in there. There's a lot of output, and I don't like to have any real fuzz going on my bass, just enough to make it sound like a live situation, you know, because when you're playing live it always sounds, no matter how clean your bass is, it always sounds like it's starting to crack up a little bit and gets that nice growl to it. But I don't like the fuzz that some people go for. Fuzz is better if you play with a pick, in my opinion, and I don't. So that is about it for my gear.
All right, well, this is it. We're leaving the studio now, basically. The complex here is actually quite large. There's plenty of different areas to kind of see, really. We are on an actual working pecan ranch, actually. Right here we have the workout room and recreational area. The variety of weights we have at our disposal. You know, we have the pool table here, the heavy bag.
For anybody out there who thinks death metal sucks, see how that sucks.
In the corner over there, behind you, we have actually that's our 8-track, or George's 8-track that we brought from home for him to work on the lyrics, so he can do some practicing up until he's ready to go, you know, doing his tracks, which will be coming up pretty soon. This is my room where I sleep, I guess, when I'm here. Put some lights on. Basically, this is it. Every room is very rustic, and, you know, I mean, Tony just keeps them great with some antique furniture, and, you know, we got the, you know, the log ceilings and everything. I mean, it's awesome.
This is where I sleep, in this room right here. There's my another guitar I got there, a Jackson Rainy Roads. My little makeshift office there. Some ammo. What's we got here? Just got some right guard. Laurel from Nevermore hates this shit, so if he's in the room with you and he's ever bothering you, if you spray this shit, he'll freak out. He'll leave. Believe me, he hates this. It's his worst enemy. What do you think? That's really about it. That's, you know.
Here's the room that I've been sleeping in. It's a little, I've left it a little messy just because I have a lot of books and things. I've still been writing some lyrics. These are some tools that I use when I'm writing lyrics. Probably every lyric writer has a couple of these, you know, rhyming dictionaries and thesaurus. It helps a lot. Lately, it's been available for me to practice over in the vintage amplifier room. But if they're doing something else in there, I can come over here and practice.
This is my room. This don't open. My bag's here. They wash all the clothes and everything, but I never end up putting them away. Towel, bag of crap. That's pretty much it. Dirty clothes, you know, nice little basket for dirty clothes. Dresser full of junk, toothpicks, Q-tips, This is actually Jack's video charger there. Along this pathway, in between the trees, we were filming a little movie. Jack, Paul, and myself. And I was in the star of the movie. It's totally ridiculous, but I was running along these pathways and, you know, sort of simulating like some bootleg Bigfoot footage, you know.
Welcome to my chamber of isolation. Starting over here, we've got cell phone, pretty much useless out here in the middle of nowhere. Munchies, important reading material. We've got Atlas, Road Atlas, because we drove the gear out here, me and Pat. Following some football while we're out here. Over here we got the organ, doesn't work. Last time I was learning Doors tunes on it, was pretty cool. Gotta have the acoustic lying around, jam some blues. The closet, do not go in there. We got, brought every CD I got basically, just going through them. Let's see what's on the listening agenda. We got Stevie Ray Vaughan, rest in peace. Jimi Hendrix, rest in peace. Johnny Cash, rest in peace. Hank Williams Sr., rest in peace. Everyone I like is dead, I don't know. This guy, Chris Duarte, great guitar player from Austin. Check him out. What else we got? Reading material. Only one video I brought. Jimmy Plays Monterey. Can't beat it. Book a massage for the ladies. Spanish, English dictionary. I got beer that I just put here. Boombox for the tunes, of course. And that's about it. Got a magazine down there, but you don't need to know about that. And you can get on the hell out of here right now.
Yeah, man.
Shuffle off or shuffle off the buffalo.
Let's try another one then.
Lay it on. Speak on.
Speak off. Speak up.
Past couple albums, we kind of bring our own songs in and put them together with the band. I've kind of got to where I have an idea of where a song is supposed to go, so I don't really want anyone to interfere with it, kind of. So for this album, I just wrote 4 songs, all the music and all the lyrics. So that's the kind of way we've done it on this album. Everyone brings in their own stuff, puts it together with Paul. Everybody else learns it from there. Perfect. Forgot how the song goes, so it's all fucked up. But that's cool.
It's alright.
Fuck it. Kids love it. My dad would break out an acoustic once in a while and play all like Hank Williams and Johnny Cash songs that he knew, so that was like cool for me because it was a once in a while thing that he would break it out and play a bunch of songs like on a Sunday night or something. So yeah, I'll just get out the guitar, try and play it, break all the strings, put it back in the case like I didn't touch it. But yeah, that's where the inspiration comes from. Obviously, we've been together 15 years. If you count 88, we got together at the end of 88. So end of this year will be 15 years. Yeah, it's got wild moments here and there, but nothing so crazy that it's like in need of rehab. And this is the effects of drugs on tracking.
I'm from Buffalo, New York. That's where I was born, and I grew up in a town outside of Buffalo, New York named Akron. Me and Jack actually known each other for a long time. We both went to the same elementary school, junior high, high school, everything out there in Akron. We had a band called Beyond Death, and Jack and I were interested in leaving Beyond Death at the time. So we called up the guys from Tyrant Sin, you know, to see what they were doing, and we decided to form a new band together, and that's what became Cannibal Corpse. That happened in December of 1988. To me, I always wanted to do anything I could in music, because I figured, okay, death metal's what I love, but if I learn how to play other kinds of music, it's all experience that I can apply to playing death metal. And, you know, we've always tried to push the envelope of what we can do and can't do, and we want it to continue to expand always. You know, we don't want to settle into a comfort zone where we're just writing within our limits. Like, on this album, there will definitely be stuff that is harder technically to perform than anything we've ever done before, and that's important to us. That feels like, you know, it makes us feel like we're going someplace instead of just, you know, spinning our wheels. I mean, we can honestly say that it's the most technical work we've done.
You know, I just write stuff that's like challenging for me to play that I think sounds cool. like playing death metal because it's the most brutal kind of music there is to play. Because it's a slap in the face to queer kind of music. That's why. It's brutal. It's the best kind of music there is. The chops, as far as the guitar playing goes, it's very challenging. You know, and you can make it as hard or as difficult as you want. It's pretty much just open territory. Do whatever you want with it. You know, we basically bring ideas into practice and start hashing them out with the drummer Paul, and you keep building on it like that, and then sooner, you know, pretty soon you get a song.
Is it a
I've always
style?
played Flying V's, and I think Flying V's are about as metal as you can get for a guitar. Difficult to track. Probably bent backwards and broken. That was a pretty hard one. It's hard because you gotta lay down 4 guitar tracks, and they all have to be exactly the same. And it's hard to do that. It is. I think it is. Lift weights, drink beer, shoot guns, play guitar. I play guitar for recreation.
Yeah.
I love playing guitar. These are the rounds. Very vicious. Small, but very vicious.
Fucking evil mask. Is that like a scorpion? A man? Like, yeah, I think it is. It's some kind of crab or scorpion or something.
It's an alacran. I don't know, yeah.
I don't know, man. That's not quite as easy to play as the Spectre, but I can't put things inside of the Spectre, so you never know. Little devil's playing music. Look at that.
We don't have any music or what? Okay, music.
This is a place to be. I have 3 amigos, a good, the bad, and the stupid, right here.
Moo. No, I'm not a vegetarian.
Guys are trying to bring a knife back into America.
We always go into the studio and leaving the studio every time feeling that we did the best product ever, you know, and I love everything we did, and the Wretched, I would think just the fact that we grow as songwriters and, you know, listening to all the tracks, and I mean, there's a lot of really catchy songs to me, you know, and I think we did a great job. So, I mean, the production I think is a key as well. Neil did a great job, and it's the best sounding CD we've done. So in that way, it's really special and makes it maybe, you know, stick out a little more.
The sound, I mean, I'm thrilled with it. It's a lot punchier, a lot heavier than the last record, which of course is what we were going for. So.
You know, it's a good thing that we have it in us, you know, when we've been doing it this long, and we have great songwriters in the band, and Jack, Alex, and Pat, you know, the ideas are always there, you know. So when we're ready to do the next one, you know, I am totally confident that, you know, we'll come up with some great material and do another great CD.
It's always nice to think, well, hey, we've got a couple of songs here that are really catchy, just naturally catchy. You know, songwriters usually, you know, they get better at writing songs, you know, as time goes on, rather than, you know, wow, you know, I'm getting better at what I do, and this song's really catchy, and people really like this one. That naturally happens. You know, Alex writes, for example, a lot of very hooky parts, and I think he's writing more and more hooky stuff, but without realizing it, he's just writing what he feels, and it's all a sensibility. Here we go. I think all songwriters, if they do their homework, are going to go, well, this is what I used to write, this is what I'm writing now. It seems to be getting better.
You know, we just love playing death metal, and luckily there was enough people out in the world to be able to, you know, to want to hear our band, you know, and to, you know, to let us come on tour and see, you know, play in front of these people, and they buy our merch and, you know, buy the CDs, and that's obviously what's making us go in that sense, where, you know, we don't have to work jobs, you know, this is our job, you know, and it's delivering the death metal. So, you know, so I think, you know, our love of the music and the fans are what really have kept us around, of course.
I mean, I'm happy to be out there because all the people that we talked to, they're fans of our band, which of course we're very happy of that, but they're fans of the same music that we all love, that we have such a passion for. I think that translates to our fans. They know that we're a band that they're always going to be able to count on to you know, do our best to make a brutal album. For them, for ourselves, you know, for death metal in general. I mean, this music is everything to me. It's given me so much that you know, and the fans have given me, and I'm sure the other guys in the band will tell you the same thing. They've given all of us more than we could ever give back. But we try to give back. When we play our fucking asses off. You know, I'm singing my balls off. I think when we play, the fans, they're going crazy, and that's what it's really all about.
For me, lyrically, I just sit down with the finished tape of the song that we did, and then I just try to start getting ideas, listening to the song over and over. And of course, if we already know what we're going to call the song, then I just starting to, you know, to write around that. And that's usually what ends up happening, because we feel, of course, the titles are a very important part of Cannibal Corpse. So we usually end up coming with a title first before we start writing. Not all the time. I know for my songs I do it that way. I think a few of the other songs like Jack wrote and Alex, I think they might have had more of an idea what they wanted to write about, and the song title came from that.
The music is intense, and the lyrics should be intense. I've said this in every interview I've done. We're not going to sing about fucking flowers and blue skies and skipping through the grass with our women, you know, or our girlfriends or wives. We're not going to sing about that. It's never going to happen.
We really want the music and the lyrics to be one, you know, cohesive musical and artistic structure. You know, we don't want them to not mesh. You know, it only makes sense.
In after they washed.
Hold on 1 second. I'm just thinking of something. I don't know if we should have 2 die screams in here.
Pardon?
I think I should just go, they watched you die.
Right, because you've already got a die, right? A really good die.
I used to just fucking sing whatever I was listening to. And that's how I started getting into singing. As you rot in your smallest tomb. Is that it?
Yeah.
Let me come in and hear it.
All right.
All right.
With this genre, with the death metal genre, it's all about intensity and trying to make every album you do or every album you make more intense than the last. So that's always fun. You're constantly pushing the envelope.
The only limitation about playing death metal is it has to be brutal. You know.
The kind of people who get into death metal are the kind of people who want to push the envelope. The whole point of making a death metal band is to be faster and more brutal than the bands that you grew up listening to.
We still, of course, we always love Iron Maiden. We always love Judas Priest and all the old heavy metal bands and whatnot. But it had to be faster. It had to be more brutal.
We're just jamming for love of music and brutality and horror and just seeing what happens.
Yeah. Just ran over a bush or something. I don't know what the hell it was.
It was some kind of thing. spiky tree.
That was a good one.
You can see out over there, those mountains are in Mexico.
Our seatbelt. Yeah. We're here behind the studio here now, and Jack's laying down some guitar tracks, so that means there's not a goddamn thing for me to do. So we're gonna shoot some pomegranates with some shotguns. So.
It's very important
Yeah.
to shoot pomegranates.
It's very important to not get too bored around here.
When
we're not, you know, when we're not working, you know. Yeah.
You say pull.
Pull.
I love the smell of that.
I do too. Gunpowder rules.
Fucking great. What's the name of the action of this type of shotgun? Is that a lever action?
No, that's automatic.
Just semi-automatic.
So all I have to do is pull it?
Oh shit. maybe.
I just wanted to wake everybody up.
Oh, okay.
That was a misfire there.
Glad it wasn't aimed at my fucking nuts. God damn. Okay. Let's review our gun safety, shall we, gentlemen?
You notice everyone who's going to watch this that bought the CD that's from Denver. I'm not wearing this because I'm not a fan. Because I'm trying to kiss ass. It's because I'm a Broncos fan. Sticky. Good move there, George. Don't film that. Don't film that lame attempted cooking. Man, I gotta drink this warm, but I can't let it go to waste. That's like, you know? I can just pour a little bit more in there. Means I gotta drink less, right? See? That's smart. A little more pepper, too. There you go. Corpsegrinder bratwurst. And I gotta find these ones that are hidden. These hidden bratwurst.
Yeah, my pocket's got a hole in it. Yeah, my pocket's got a hole in it. My pocket's got a hole in it. I done lost my weed. Well, I'm standing on the corner
conceive through rain, procreate a vicious brood, rotting in a course, penetrate with force, forsaken, nude. Spawn of the wretched, born of the rain, dawn of the murdering beasts of hate. Spawn of the wretched, could defile. Spawn of the darkness, blessed in the south, the wretched spawn, inherently vile. Inherited traits, reprobate from birth and urge. No chance to change, more deranged, violence will emerge. Spawn of the wretched, born of the rain, dawn of the murdering beasts of hate. Spawn of the wretched, cut defiled. All of the darkness, blessed in the soul, the wretched spawn, inherently vile. Spawn of the wretched, bred from the damned. God of the instinct, normal for man. Spawn of the wanted, hearts of the cruel. Spawn of brute force, used as a tool, the wretched spawn, violence will rule. Heredity dictates brutality, doomed to carry the legacy, days of the punches and killing breed.
I think it's always fun to come back and do another record with a band. I mean, I did the first one 2 years ago, and that was exciting. Obviously, you're just kind of feeling your way through and making sure that, you know, everyone's happy with the way things sound. And I knew, especially seeing as it's been 2 years, and I've been doing a lot of heavier stuff in between, you know, just continuing on that sort of path. I've also done a number of other projects in Pro Tools in between. Well, in fact, pretty much every one. Now using the higher sampling rate. So I came to this project suggesting that we go that route, so that, you know, that it really was a lot smoother. You know everybody. You know, you're having a lot more fun in a sense, just because you're familiar with the guys. It's a team coming back for a repeat. You know. Because you don't, I mean, in this medium, you don't have the volume of a live gig. You don't have the excitement of all the kids around and everyone, you know, going nuts, you know, at the show. So yeah, we have to make sure it's all as intense as possible at every stage of the game. And obviously, the more intense each individual performance, when you mix it all together, there's a lot of intensity there. Plus, when we actually mix it, you know, you make the sounds punch through a lot more, and you just work on the aggression, and just make it as exciting as you can. You know, I enjoy working with that. I mean, having done a lot of radio-friendly music, it's a different way of thinking. You know, we're working with a band like Cannibal or any death metal band. You don't have to worry about radio play because it's not necessarily an option. I think arrangement is probably the mark of a good songwriter, in the sense that they have a knack of bringing the hooks back. Whether it's in metal, it tends to be like a killer riff. Or a catchy chorus. It's not going to be, you know, a hooky melody perhaps, but it's usually a killer riff that comes back in the right place to keep your attention, which is the death metal equivalent or the metal equivalent of a chorus. You know, just having a chorus that appears every 45 seconds or something that keeps your attention and makes you not want to change the radio station. You know, you got to gauge it against maybe some other things, but I think. Yeah, everyone who is successful tends to mature and tends to get better at what they do.
You know, I guess it just started from my cousin actually kind of got me into Kiss back when I was 10 years old, and that was the first band that, you know, really moved me, of course, you know, especially when you're just getting into music. You're 10 or 11 years old, and I just worshipped Kiss and lived Kiss, and like a lot of people did, I think, at my age. And, you know, ever since then, music was just such a big part of my life. And I had an older cousin, a couple of years older, who actually was a drummer and kind of got me into bands, you know, like Rush and Van Halen. And, you know, then I started to just get into it more on my own. But I found myself really, you know, loving the hard rock, and then, you know, just the metal, you know, bands like Judas Priest and Iron Maiden and Black Sabbath just really, that's what I love so much. And then it just snowballed from there. I think, well, that was the whole start of death metal. It was round in the early 80s with bands like Possessed, and then Death came out like in 85, I think 86, and it was starting to just kind of take off. And then Morbid Angel came out, and then we came out just after them with our first album, and we're talking 1990. So by then we were at the forefront of it, of the whole start of it, basically, and then it just took off from there, basically, and became what it is today, I guess. So. And we're definitely, that's it, you either hate us or love us, so it's not, I don't think there's any middle ground for Cannibal Corpse.
Yeah, it's hard to sound original. There's just so many bands coming out of every corner.
All for marketing.
Yep. Black metal, thrash, death. It's so many forms of metal, or rock for that matter. Luckily, we had enough unique sounds within us to stand out, I think. Your hairs, what went wrong? That's a question somebody asked me in Germany just because of the language differences. What, your hairs? But I'm just hair challenged, so I just decided to get rid of it in 97. I'd have to go with Marilyn Monroe. Period.
While she was alive or while she's dead?
That's a better question. Definitely living.
Gotcha.
But if I had to do dead, I can do that. I can.
For me, it wasn't that hard. It's a lot harder tracking like Alex's songs.
Really, why?
Well, because like translating, I guess, from the bass to guitar and trying to get his ideas down on guitar, exactly what he wants, it's hard. Because I'll lay down tracks and he'll come in and go, no man, it's like this, it's like a little bit different.
Right.
Just very slight, but different in one area, I'm rushing one note or whatever. It's just, I'm familiar with him, it's just that, just getting his ideas from the bass, he shows me an idea, and the way I hear it, him playing on bass, then me playing the guitar, sometimes it just gets, if he writes a song, let's say 4 months ago, by the time we get in here, I'll start maybe playing it maybe my way.
Right.
That's just what a lot of the stuff that we have to put solos over is not in a particular key or doesn't fit in a particular scale pattern. So it really depends. Most of the scales, I guess, would be like diminished scales, augmented scales. It's totally free. It's almost like jazz, really, in a lot of ways, because you can get as crazy and as out there with as you want. That's why I like it. It's not limited.
I decided instead of playing guitar, I should play bass, because I really liked the way basses sounded. And it seemed like it would be easier to start playing in a band right away, playing bass. The guitar players were always doing these incredibly difficult leads and everything, and to me it seemed like, oh God, it'd take me 10 years before I'd be good enough to play in a band. But I listened to the bass players, and it seemed like they were doing something that I loved how it sounded, and it seemed like it would be easier to start playing right away. And within a year I was playing in a band. I mean, the death metal scene, regardless of its popularity today, is better than it's ever been musically. It's never been better. That's if the biggest death metal band was only selling 500 albums worldwide, it would not change the fact that the music has never been better than it is right now. This kind of music helps people get through negative things. I mean, you're turning something negative into something positive by making it into music instead of actually going out and doing something violent. Use it to write a story about something negative, rather than actually, let the negativity in your life devour you. It's better to get it out through art and music and other things like that. There's plenty of ways to turn things around. And that was what death metal did for me when I listened to it. It got me through a lot of negative things in my life. It was always there for me. It's like the things that we sing about, the songs, they're all incredibly brutal and negative. We want everything in this band to be brutal and negative, really, and that might sound strange to the average person, but it's what we want. You know, that's the way to make it effective death metal, and it's the way to, you know, effectively capture the emotion that we're going for. I mean, if you're going to make music that sounds aggressive and hateful, then it follows the lyrics should also be aggressive and hateful. You know, well, it makes complete sense to me. And if it's something that is about something negative, but it makes you feel good when you're done listening to it, and no one's been harmed by doing that, then there's nothing wrong with it at all. You know, that's why we've always, I mean, we're not too surprised that people want to censor us, because most of the people who are in political offices were, when they were teenagers, you know, Elvis was being censored for moving his hips around on Ed Sullivan's show. You know, so what are they gonna, people who grew up with that, what are they gonna think about a band that sings about eating people?
Bodies of the dead, swallow me with rot. Remains are crushing me, decomposing mouth.